Okay, what we're going to look at right now is the build that I'm using to get the under 3-minute kill on a Ragetail Gnasher. So we're using the Boreas sword. The reason why I'm choosing the Boreas sword is because it has the defensive cell slot right here. And its ability is pretty nice. It gives you the frost sprites whenever you're in overdrive or cyclone. We're going to be using overdrive. I found it works a lot better against the Gnasher because you have a little more mobility, and the Gnasher has a bad habit of trying to run away during different phases of his attacks. So we're using the reactive hilt overdrive combo. We're using +3 rage and +3 Iceborne on Boreas. If you want to swap out the sword, you can swap it out for Skarn, Pangar, and I think there's one more, Charog. All of those work fine. They don't have a unique effect that's as useful as Boreas in my opinion. And the Skarn sword with the new Terra update, how it heals you, is going to mess with the style of build. Right now we have a low life Rage Iceborne build. Now we're using the Hellion head because of the Rage Hunter and because it has a technique slot. In the technique slot you want Wild Frenzy. What Wild Frenzy does is it increases your attack speed whenever your health is low. And if we look here, whenever you're under 50% health, you gain a 25% attack speed buff, which is very significant. And if we look at Rage, which is what we have built into the sword as well, when under 50% health, you're dealing 25% more damage. So with this build, while you're under 50% health, you're going to be dealing 25% more damage and attack speed, which is very much affecting your kill time. This setup is sort of the opposite of a typical Predator setup. With Predator, you want to make sure you're dodging every single attack and keeping that bonus on for as long as you can. The reason why I like this is it's not so skill intensive dodge-wise. You can take a hit. In fact, it's ideal for you to take a few hits to get your buffs going. And then Iceborne keeps you right at 50%. So once you take the first initial hits, you just deal damage and you're gonna be set pretty much. Everything else, we have the Gnasher grips, we have the Boreas feet. All of these pieces, with the exception of maybe you could argue Hellion, are very early game behemoths. We're not looking at shroud pieces, we're not looking at Reza pieces. This is all very easy to set up, and in fact, Gnasher and Drask are I'm pretty sure the first two that you fight. Either that or Embermane. We've got Attunement from the Cells, which is just going to get our Lantern up. We've got Iceborne to keep us alive. We've got Rage to increase our damage, Rage Hunter to increase our damage. You can swap this out for Aether Hunter or Overpower or any other fist or any other power slot that you want. I do highly recommend Rage Hunter on the Ragetail Gnasher since he spends so much time in enraged mode. We have Wild Frenzy for more damage per second, and these +3 conditioning and overpower. Conditioning is just the cell that's in Boreas' sword, so that'll change depending on what sword you have. It's not necessary to use Boreas' sword, and the conditioning doesn't change the game too much, but it is nice. And overpower is an extra power slot that we have right here with the Gnasher. So if you wanted to swap this out for Pangar, you could do that. I wouldn't recommend it, but then you could have +6 Knockout King. Not a big deal, but if you did +6 Knockout King and Overpower instead of Rage Hunter, that might be pretty nice. Let's talk about the Lantern too. The Lantern, I've actually chosen Embermane's Lantern. The press ability is 30% attack speed. The hold ability is a fireball. It explodes, it does more damage, it's nice to have. And it doesn't, the Lantern, you could swap this out for Drask, you could swap it out for pretty much anything. It's not that big a deal, but it is nice to have the attack speed. I would stick to Drask or Embermane because Koshai, the lifesteal actually might get you over 50% health, which you don't want. And the dash is nice, but it's not super cool or anything. So I'll put a link below to this if for whatever reason we haven't spent enough time looking at it right now. But the main idea is to stay below 50% health, deal damage, stay close, don't worry so much about being defensive. You have the heal from Iceborne to let you stay hyper aggressive and get as much damage per second as you can against the Gnasher to try to get him down as quickly as possible. So next we're just going to transition into what exactly it takes to get in and keep dealing damage to the Gnasher. I'm going to try to do this without potions, but with the Ragetail, it's pretty easy to get a great time because he spends a long period of time enraged. So whenever he's enraged, you can pop a frenzy potion and deal high damage. I am actually using the Ember main lantern for this one. So that's not common, but I just enjoy having the attack speed, and the fireball does significant damage. That was a bit of lag on my part, I believe. So we're going to try to get the stagger on this guy while he's close. There we go. Try to land as many dodge attacks as we can and get this repeating elements combo in while he's down, while we're getting the quarter damage buff from Overpower. Alright, that was good. He's got to be deep, he's already in rage mode. Whenever he's raged, you want to dodge in towards his legs. If I didn't get stuck under his tail there, would have been fine. And the good thing about this build is you don't really have to worry about watching how much damage you're taking. If anything, it's better to take a little bit more damage, because you're going to heal right back up to 50. I don't know what's going on with my internet right now. Having a bit of lag. So yeah, it's actually fine if he hits you a couple times. Just try to stay aggressive and ride up on him. His leg's close, there we go. He's about to get staggered too. He's got to be, yeah. See, that was a very quick kill. That was easily under 3 minutes. And the benefit of using this build is that you don't have to worry so much about dodging perfectly. The only thing that really damage does is gonna take down your time, whatever time you're spending staggered. But the ideal part about running Iceborne is that it's keeping you at 50% health or below the whole time, which gives the bonuses for Wild Frenzy and Rage up pretty much the entire fight. So that was a 2-minute 50, and it wasn't even an ideal spawn. If you want to make it even better, I'm not sure. I think this is a pretty optimized build for Rage Hunter, for Ragetail. The things you can swap out are the cells, obviously. So if you're fighting an Aetheric enemy, like Riftstalker or Shroud, you can switch it over to Aether Hunter instead of Rage Hunter and move things around. But this is really what I recommend if you're going to fight. If you want something a little bit different and easier to come by than the standard sword build, especially since they recently nerfed crits. If you have any questions about what we covered here or any other sort of input, let me know down in the comments. Or join my Discord and leave a message in the comment box text channel. It's much easier to start a conversation through my server since I get notified immediately. One more option is to catch me streaming on Twitch every Sunday night and sporadically throughout the weekdays, and just talk to me real time. I hope you learned something, and thank you for watching.